Hi guys. I'm out on the front porch this morning or this afternoon, I guess, because it is so nice outside. So I thought I'd take a page out of Casey's book since she's off today and go outside. So hopefully my internet holds up for this. And also, I'm going to just warn you right now, if a wasp goes by, this is over. I will run and we'll have to reschedule. So hopefully that doesn't happen because I'm not friendly with the wasps and there are a bunch of them. And I saw one over here by this smoker behind me. And so I'm warning you that we may be grabbing the laptop and running to a new location if there are wasps. But I'm excited to talk to you today because I wanted to talk about ideas. Ideas and dreams and possibilities are like my favorite thing ever. And so I know that a lot of you are looking at different options and asking some great questions like, what can I do to start? How should I start? And, we had a great discussion last week about doing a beta group to start. And that kind of got my gears turning on like, well, what are some other ways that you can make money immediately? Because I think it's really important to talk about things that help you actually move forward with your business, because sometimes we can talk about things that are really like strategical, right? I don't know if that's a word, but we talk about things that are like not very actionable sometimes. So what ideas you might have, or things you want to do, those are all great things. But sometimes I have found that, and I have found this with the nurses who I'm friends with, who are also entrepreneurs, who are doing things well. They're just doing things, right? We're not having this huge master plan and this strategy, which I'm not saying is not a good thing, right? You definitely want to have a strategy. You definitely want to do market research. You want to do all the right things. But sometimes if you're stuck in your head and you're not really sure what you should be doing, right? Like it's really hard to make a strategy when I don't know what I should be doing. And that's like one of my things I like to say is like, right, but if I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, how do I know what the next right step is? Well, you got to start somewhere. And so sometimes when I am talking to nurses who are really stuck, I'm asking them, what is the fastest thing you could do? And I think we talked about this a little bit with the ICE matrix, is like, okay, you have all these ideas, you have all these really great things you can do. There are so many things we can do, but what could you do like right now? Like right now. So what do you have the most confidence with? What is the easiest thing, the least resistance, no resistance, and what could still make an impact for your people? That's the ICE matrix. So impact, confidence, ease. So if you're feeling stuck and there's a barrier, we want to remove that barrier and say, what has the least resistance between it? So I'm going to talk about 5 easy, low barrier ways that you can start making money now, because there's nothing like, this is not right. We're not doing this just for money. We have to live and we need money to live. So when I talk about making money, it's because a lot of times making some money brings confidence and motivation. I was at Life Surge with Jetty. Me and Jetty went to Life Surge, which is like a life and business one day, like Kingdom Entrepreneur motivational day thing. And it was really cool. And one of the guys was telling his story, and he was talking about how he was ready to give up, totally ready to give up, in his room, and checked his computer one last time, and he was doing ads, right? He was trying to do like passive income through ads. He clicks on his computer and he sees he made 11 cents. Okay. And that was like his moment. That was his moment of success. He made 11 cents, right? And that was his breakthrough. He's like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this. I now use money, the internet, to make money. And that was his like eyes open, here's possibility thinking moment. He made 11 cents. So sometimes all it takes is 11 cents to keep you going, right? So I wanted to talk about, how you don't need a website, certifications, a huge audience, a marketing strategy. All those things are great. Nothing wrong with any of those things, and they certainly help. But most nurses stay stuck because they're overthinking what they could offer. And so they're not offering anything to anyone. And I was in this same boat when I had my courses. I was trying to create this big, huge course and figure out how to do a webinar. And I wasn't ready for any of that stuff. So a lot of the times, the fastest way to grow, to get to that point where you're ready for those things, is to test something really small, really simple, low barrier, very, focused on what you're inspired to do. Sometimes for me, like if I'm not feeling like I'm inspired, I don't connect with my offer. And so you try and find the thing that you're the most inspired to do. But I wanted to talk about 5 easy low barrier options that you could try. And you could do all 5 of these. Watching the dog. You could do all 5 of these, right? These are things you can integrate your entire business around. She's over there in the driveway. I don't know if you can see her. She's chewing on a stick. But you can integrate all of these into your business. You can do all these things, and I would recommend it. I think they're all great revenue streams. So let's just go ahead and get started and start talking about them. Good. I'm really glad that is resonating with you, Jay. Thanks for joining. If you have questions as I go, pop them in the chat. If you're here with me live, I love talking to you guys. So please feel free to give me some feedback on these things as I'm going through them. So the offer number 1 is anything one-on-one. So that could be power sessions, which I like the name of that, with audit, plan, strategy. So if you have a leadership skill, compliance skill, mindset skill, business skill, whatever your skill is, you can put that into a power session format and offer that power session. The reason this is so easy is because you don't need a webinar, a website, a whole prepared complex project. So I want to say this to you. You have everything you need. It's in your brain. You've helped someone with something. It doesn't even have to be clinical, right? This could be something you do right now today. You could say, hey, I have 5 spots on my calendar to offer 5 people this one-on-one power session, and the outcome you'll get is this, right? So we want to focus on the outcomes. What do the people you're offering this to want? So you don't have to have any complex anything set up to do this. You can, say, message me if you are hoping to achieve XYZ, and we'll hop on a power session and do it together. Maybe it's a do it with you session. That's a huge thing right now. And I love these. I've done several done with you. I have a great tech guy who's helped me with my course platform, and he does done with you services. I think it's like $300. He does for like an hour and a half maybe, and we hop on together. He has me pull up exactly what I'm trying to do, and then he walks me through the solutions, and we get it done in that time frame. It's an amazing service. I've used it several times, and it helps me fix that problem in real time, right? So what problem can you fix with somebody one-on-one in an hour and a half? There's your service right there. And you can price that anywhere, from $100 to $1,000. I'm sure it goes higher than that. But if you're just starting out and you really want to get some money coming in and you really want to see what the outcomes are and get some outcomes for people, I would suggest you start on the lower side. So you could do a 1-hour power session for $100, right? And then work your way up. So whatever the outcome is. And if it takes longer, maybe it's a 3-hour power session, right? Maybe it's something that takes some time to put together. But you could do this for even like gluten-free meal planning. You could do this for how to start your garden. You could do this for organizing your life, where to start with your house. It doesn't have to be a clinical thing. It can be. Could be for nurses. If you're a nurse life coach and you're looking at burnout or stress management or life skills, you could easily do a power session to start out. So that's number 1. I really love that option. I think it's a really, really strong service to offer. And I just want to say also that as a consultant, in a consulting role, you can offer these power sessions. I mentioned audit. You don't have to audit records. You can do a organizational audit. So if you are an assisted living consultant, you could audit their emergency preparedness plan or their marketing strategy or anything you wanted in an assessment. An assessment could be 3 1-hour one-on-one calls, and that's their assessment. And the consulting area is highly lucrative. It's a little, in my opinion, this is totally just opinion. In my opinion, it's more lucrative than coaching, because coaching is a little saturated right now. And coaching, you're usually dealing with individuals unless you're a corporate coach. But with consulting, you're still doing a lot of one-on-one with the leaders in the organization, maybe some with the team, whoever has involvement. But you can do this assessment and charge $5,000 to $10,000 for this, whereas with an individual, you may be charging 100 to 1,000, right? So this initial assessment you don't have to have anything created for this. You're just asking them questions. You're assessing the areas they have concerns with. So take your area of expertise of what you've done before and just start asking them questions, right? How would you say your marketing's going right now? What percentage are you at capacity? And maybe ask ChatGPT to help you make a list of things that you would assess acting as a consultant in the assisted living marketing area, or whatever area that you're in. We got a wasp on the radar, so be prepared for a move of locations. I don't know what's going to happen here. Okay, so that's the first one. I really like it. I really think it's solid. It's very simple to offer. You don't have to have it pre-created. It's a short time commitment, so people aren't afraid to do it. There's no barrier for your client because they're not committing to anything except for a brief one-on-one meeting, right? If you're like, I want to work with you 12 months for $12,000, that's all kinds of objections, right? I don't know you. I don't have $12,000. I don't know what I'm doing next year, but I'd like to meet with you this week for 1 hour. It's $100. Totally different ball game, So offer number 2 would be a mini digital downloader toolkit. Also something I've done, something I absolutely love, super, super easy to do. Don't overcomplicate it. There is a little bit of tech required in doing this, or doing it well, scaling it. So that could be a barrier. But if you keep it simple, you could put a bunch of forms in a Google Drive. So you can beautify this with Canva, or you can pay someone $20, literally $20 on Fiverr to beautify it for you. Type it all out in a Google Sheet. Type out everything you want included, break it up into sections, or do it in slides and say, this slide is this slide is this. Pay someone $20 to beautify it, put it in a Google Drive, and they can Venmo or PayPal you, and then you share the access to the drive. Again, is that super scalable? No. Is it super easy to start doing right now? Yes. So if you start having multiple people paying for it throughout the day and night, you're going to need a course platform to manage that, because it's not going to be manageable for you to send 100 people a day access to their Google Drive. However, if you're sharing it with specific people who would be interested in it, hey, I know you've asked me about this before, my recipes before. I know you've asked me about my documentation checklist before. Here it is. Here's a Google Drive full of what you need to get started. It's $47 for these forms. It's $97 for these forms. It's an easy way to start. Again, there's low to no commitment. They can download it. They can use it on their own. So it's very simple, very simple. It could be admission checklists. It could be safety round things that you've come up with. It could be a new grad resume template. It could be a study check sheet you've used for your DNP. Could be capstone ideas, could be a planner for night shift nurses, or a fitness and meal planner for gluten-free nurses, or a retirement planner for nurses looking to retire early. Whatever ideas you have, digital products are so easy for this and require very little effort. You probably have some things on your computer already you could use for this, and it doesn't have to be 1,000 pages. Put 3 to 5 things in there and ask $27 for it, right? Easy. $17. Start small, add value, scale it as you go, and then incorporate these into courses or coaching packages. I love using digital products as a complement, as a value add or an upsell for consulting services. I think that's super easy to do, and same with coaching. Offer number 3. a group workshop or a pop-up class. I also love this. So this is just a live Zoom that you invite people to. You can start free and then charge for it, or you can do it recorded and send out the recording and never do it live if that freaks you out. So you're just teaching them on a specific skill or strategy or topic. If you love education and you're passionate about education, this one's for you. Could be so simple, like 3 ways to XYZ, one thing you know how to do, right? 3 ways to improve your overall mood, 3 ways to make time for your kids while you're working full time, 3 ways to eat better while you're working, right? Whatever it is, something super, super simple with one outcome. You're only on there for an hour, right? You're doing a recorded class for an hour. So you only want one outcome, and it should be small enough to achieve in an hour. So whatever it is, you want to keep this very tight in scope. It's easy to promote. It's going to be a great list builder to get an audience in. You could do it on LinkedIn Live. I love LinkedIn Live. This would be a great free offer to start with. If you don't have any paid offers and you're wanting to get some eyes on your stuff, a workshop is a great way to do that. So I love that for LinkedIn Live. There's a bug on me. This isn't going to work for me. But we're trying. We're making it work. I hate bugs. It wasn't a wasp, though. It was an ant with wings. Ugh. Okay. Offer number 4. These are so good, y'all. These are fire. Like the money and the impact that's in these are something. So I'm so excited about sharing these with you. But contractor services or subcontractor services, you might call it. So you offer your skills to another business as a 1099 contractor. This is a phenomenal way for nurses who aren't ready to build a full business or don't want to feel like there's all this pressure to start this big, huge operation. You're literally just saying, hey, I can help you with your chart auditing. Hey, I can help you with education. Hey, I can help you write your policies, or I can help you create a program for, patient care or whatever. And it's paid. You're making money. You're building your confidence and figuring out what you're good at. And it's helping improve healthcare, right? Subcontracting, I find, starts at 75 to 100 an hour. So it is lucrative, but you're still trading your time for money, right? So with digital passive services, with consulting projects that are priced by the project, you're not trading your time for money, right? You're trading your expertise for money. With subcontracting, you are paid hourly. So you are still trading your time for money, but you have a ton of freedom to decide who you work for, how you work, what you charge for, what projects you do you travel, whatever you spend your time on, you decide. It's also a little bit easier of a transition from employment to self-employment, because you are in control of what you do, but you're also still working for someone else, right? They're going to give you directives on what the project is. I'm doing it. I'm out here. I showed up, right? What can you do? Thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. I needed that. So, subcontracting has a little higher comfort level for somebody who's only ever been employed. You're going to get that structure of what the project is and how many hours you have to spend on it. They're going to give you those tools, and then you get to complete the work any way you want. I still do subcontracting sometimes. And I've done a ton of subcontracting projects, especially when my own personal business revenue fluctuated a lot. I would do subcontracting to stabilize it during a time when I didn't have enough contracts. So it's a really great way to build your confidence, to build your business, and get clients easily. So you can start reaching out to businesses. I have found you can get subcontracting opportunities by responding to job posts. Hey, I'm not able to be in an employment situation right now, but I can help you achieve this outcome. I saw your post for quality management, and I'm an expert in that area. But if you'd like some interim help, or if you'd like some help as a contractor, I'm able to do that. And you just respond and message those in a really authentic and honest way to say, I would love to help with this project. I'm not able to do an employment commitment right now, but I am open to subcontracting. If that's something you'd consider, let me know, type of thing. So that's been really effective for me. And then lastly, number 5, private coaching or private support. This is great because there are a lot of people who want ongoing support, and these packages kind of guarantee your income. Imagine if you could sign a private coaching agreement right now for one client for 6 months for $6,000 upfront. You get that money upfront. I mean, that's pretty impactful, right? And again, you start to have barriers with that. Not everybody can do that or wants to do that. And especially if you're just starting out and you don't know the outcomes you're going to help them achieve and you haven't helped anyone achieve that, you may want to back up on your price point and on the time span of your offer and like reel that in and say, I'm offering a private support package for this one certain thing, fertility outcomes, a private support for fertility for 3 months or 9 months or whatever or month to month if you feel like that's what they need, um, or business support for financial management or marketing or whatever your area of expertise is. You can offer a support package for that for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. But what we're seeing right now in the market, and I have several coaches who agree with this and also are changing their packages to make sure that they are um, also competitive. People want month to month services. They don't want to commit to an 18-month package because who knows what's going to happen in 18 months, right? It's a lot for people to swallow, to think about over a year from now what outcome they want. We really want something right now, right? We want this outcome today, tomorrow, yesterday, right? So it is motivational for people. And I do my packages like this for my consulting. I don't have extended contracts because I find my clients don't want them. They don't want an extended contract that they're stuck in with me forever. So if you want to do month to month, it's a higher rate. It's a higher rate to have the freedom of no contract. And that's what I do. So if you sign a contract with me for a year, you're going to get a significantly discounted rate because you want a year's worth of support versus somebody who's like, I don't know. I want to see how this month goes and what am I going to get from this? I'll pay a little bit more or I'll pay a lot more because I know I only want just to see how things are going to go. So you can structure your offers any way you like. You can take your ideas and structure them any way that suits you as the nurse to do it. So it'll just depend on if it aligns with what people's needs and wants are. But you can price those packages anywhere from 300 to 3,000, depending on who you're speaking to, what your outcomes you're getting are. And again, the consulting is going to be a much higher price point than the coaching, unless you're doing a corporate coaching approach. Then individual coaching is just generally going to be a lower price point because you're working with one person and their available funds. Whereas when you have an organization, they're leveraging everything that organization has to get this outcome. So you're going to be able to 10x that income with consulting. And that's really why I recommend it so much. It's very lucrative. If you have a passion for coaching, and I love coaching nurses, then you can offer those packages at a much lower price point and just know that, that's more because you love supporting other people in that way. So that was it. Hey, we got through them all in 25 minutes. So I think that's pretty good. Any questions that you have? I'm ready for questions. Ask away. Any feedback that you want to have on this topic or anything you feel like stuck out to you as something you're interested in trying? I'd love to hear about that. One great question to ask yourself is, which one of these could I try this week? Which one of these could I have ready? So again, back to that ice matrix. Which one of these am I the most confident with, would be the easiest and fastest for me to put together, and would still make an impact for my people? And so that's what we're asking ourselves here. Which of these do I feel the most aligned with, that I could do the quickest, most quickly get this out, ready to go? You could post on Facebook right now, are there 3 nurses who are looking for this outcome? Please send me a message. I'd love to talk to you. And you could say like, I'm offering this at a hugely discounted rate because I really am looking for um, some testimonials on how to get the outcome back. We're back to the beta thing, right? We're back to the beta group concept. Jay's interested in the coaching and consulting. So many nurses are, and it's so lucrative and it's so flexible. It's really, you can't lose. I'm telling you, and they both go together. You're doing a little coaching and a little consulting. There's a lot of overlap there with the coaching and consulting industry. So I think that's a great choice. So, um, the best thing you can do is figure out what your service is going to offer. And you don't have to have a huge social media presence to do this, right? So if that's your barrier, if you've identified what your barrier is, you're like, okay, my barrier is I don't have a big social media presence. I don't want to show up I don't love social media. I have no love for it and it freaks me out. And I don't want a bunch of people in my business or whatever. This can be something um, a little more authentic to you. So it is more challenging to do like grassroots in person. It takes more effort on your part. So if you're wanting to do something community wise, it's going to take a little more effort because you're going to have to go to them, right? And on social media, you're bringing them to you, you're attracting them to you. So that is going to take a little more time. But as you build your confidence, you'll get there. If you already know what your offer is and you already know how you can help them, that helps a lot, right? If you've got to that and you're like, I know I want to do XYZ, I want to coach or consult on ABC, then you can easily start adding value out there, or create that recorded workshop on that one topic with that specific outcome and just start sharing it for free. And then people will start messaging you or reaching out to you or contacting you on how you can help them. Once you get that content out there for free, people are like, oh wow, this is actually what I need. And the more specific the better. Right now, the more specific you can be, it speaks to people. They know what they want. They know you're talking to them, like so specific it's painful. But that's how you can find the people who are really interested in your offer, and reach them better. So using that ice matrix is always helpful. What is the thing I'm most confident in doing, and what is the easiest, fastest thing I could get done? Well, I could ask someone today if they wanted a 1 hour consult, right? I could reach out to a local home health today and ask them if they could use any subcontracting help on their Oasis E, right? Or anything you've done before. Obviously, you don't want to be doing this with something that you've never done before. This is brand new and you're like, gosh, I don't even know how to do it if you showed me, right? That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something you could offer in your area of expertise very easily and quickly. And don't build it out first. And I'm not suggesting that you lie or lead people to believe that there's some whole big program that there isn't. You could even say, I am building out a program around this topic. And I know this is something you're interested in that you've asked me about before. I know this is something you've posted asking for help. If you're not averse to Facebook or social media, it's great to search in groups. You can use the magnifying glass to search in a Facebook group for a question like, how do I eat better when I'm, working nights, right? There's your question. So you can start building on that and reaching out to the people who have asked that and know that that's an issue that they want to look at. And you can say, I'm building a program right now where I want to XYZ. And I know this is something you've been interested in. So I would love to see if you would help me with that. I'm offering it at a huge discount, and I think it's going to be really amazing. Here's what I'm expecting the outcome to be. I expect that from this coaching, you will walk away with this outcome, and that's the outcome. They are like, wow, that's amazing, right? I really want that outcome. So that's what you want to be talking about. You want to be talking about the outcome they're going to get, not about, I will include 3 hours of coaching and one email a week and one piece of paper with words on it. No one cares. No one cares about that. You don't need to talk about what it includes. If they're struggling and they need more, then as the person who shows up to serve, you give more, right? So it's like, we want to be serving, we want to be providing value. If they're not happy with what they're getting or they're not getting the outcome, then you look at that and assess and evaluate what needs to be done to get that, right? So I totally understand that there are barriers to coming up with these things, and you can find a way. I believe in you. I know you can. I had to do it myself. You can find a way to work around those things, right? And if you have to pay someone to do it, Fiverr is a great option, or Upwork. Those are both good options, or Online Jobs PH if you need a VA to do it and you want somebody consistently. But if you're not at the point where you're like, I can't support a whole person coming on, you can still use Fiverr to do $20 jobs, $20 at a time as you have it, right? I need a $20 PDF ebook to sell. I need someone to help me set up a platform. I've got the platform ready to go. I need XYZ. So if you're struggling with that tech piece, you can always use Fiverr to support you setting that up. Um, the logistics of setting up the platforms. I definitely know what I want to offer. I know you mentioned the tech side of things. It's a challenge figuring out the logistics of setting up the platforms. I use Zenler. I put that in the comments. It's very user friendly and it has a free plan. That's the reason. Um, and I've tried Kajabi, Teachable. I've tried Thinkific and MemberVault. So I've tried multiple different platforms. I've tried LearnWorlds. I've tried Go High Level. I've tried multiple different platforms. I stayed on Zenler because it's easy to use. You can find someone on Fiverr to help you set that up. You just have to set aside some planning time because you need to know what you want in that platform. I think part of the challenge is not really even that you don't know how to set up a platform, but that you don't know what should be on the platform. So you need to create a little buffer of planning time. You're welcome. I hope that's helpful. Just create yourself some planning time to say, like, what would I want in this platform that I'm going to ask someone else to build out? Because they're going to ask you, what do you want it to be? What pictures do you want on it? What are the words that are going to say? What are the colors that we should use? So you do have to do a little prep work before you're hiring anyone for anything. You have to know yourself, right? ChatGPT can help you with that. Use ChatGPT; it's free. Ask it to help you outline a wireframe of a course page on this topic, and you will get amazing options. And then you can refine it to make it sound more like you. Oh, I don't want it to really be salesy. Oh, I don't want it to be. And I'm not really trying to help people lose weight. It's more for people who care about what they put in their body, right? So refine the things based on the audience that you're targeting, which is probably you a few years ago. If you're an expert in an area, you're probably helping people, a few steps behind where you are right now. So you want to focus on speaking to those people and speaking to those people who need those next steps, right? So that's how we help move people forward, is just a few steps at a time. So your challenge, Casey always makes sure everybody has a challenge, is to decide on what you could offer by Friday. So even if it's messy, you can put yourself out there and say, is there anyone, on my Facebook or on my LinkedIn who is trying to do this, this, and this? Send me a message. I'm trying to get some more information. And you don't have to sell anything. If you don't have a product to sell, you don't have a product to sell, but you can start having more conversations. That's the number one thing I would recommend. If you're in the planning phase, you will get a client from those conversations. You don't have to sell to get a client. You can just start talking to people. So what's your topic, Jay, if you don't mind sharing? You start having those conversations, that leads to you getting clients. That leads to you getting ideas for what your program outcomes should be, what you should be covering with people, those kind of things, like what your assessment as a consultant could include. If you have 3 conversations with 3 local home healths or 3 doctor's offices or 3 cardiologists or whoever your ideal client is, 3 OBGYNs, asking them, or their office manager, what are their top 3 challenges? Hey, would you mind taking 15 minutes to talk to me about this, and sit and have that conversation? That is going to help you figure out what the outcome of your offer is going to be and how to look at what they need to assess that, how to look at what the problems are that they're having, so you know what outcome to be offering. If you don't know what outcome, you're going to have a lot more conversations with your ideal client, because you need to know what they want. And they don't want a 12-hour course with 3 PDF downloads. Nobody says, I'm so frustrated. I'm so overwhelmed. If only I had another 12-hour course that I'm never going to log into and take that could help me get this resolved, right? No one says that. That's not what they want. So we really need to be putting things in the words, and this is messaging, right? It's all messaging, but messaging to the outcome that they want. So what is the one thing you could offer? What could you test out this week? Is it a one-on-one? Is it a workshop on a certain topic? Is it an assessment you could offer as a consultant? Is it a support package that you could offer 3 months of support for the thing you do best? Is it a subcontract that you could offer your services to an agency for month to month subcontracting? Awesome. Niches wellness consulting based on your background. I love it. Super specific, super niche. That's amazing. So, who are the people you need to be having conversations with to be talking to people with your similar background or a background that would fit in your niche? Because it doesn't just have to be one. It still attracts other people who have similar similar interests and similar outcomes. So you're not going to say, no, you're not of the same background, I can't help you. But you might say, well, it's going to be a little different because you're not my same background, but we can tailor a plan for you, right? So you're going to start having those conversations with those people about how you help, what you do, what outcome do they actually want, right? Like usually people don't say, I have the desire to feel wellness. I want to feel wellness. That's really what I want. There's a bigger reason. I want to be around for my kids. I want to not feel so tired all the time. I'm sick of having all these symptoms or having this pain or feeling like crap after I eat. There's something more connected that they want. And so that's what your conversations are going to try and get out of them. And that's what the outcome you're going to offer them is. Instead of saying, I offer wellness, you'll tell them, I offer the feeling that you have enough energy to play with your kids. I offer the outcome of not bloating and feeling like you're going to throw up every time you eat. That's what I offer you. And I do that through specific tailored coaching and support for wellness, right? Wellness is not the outcome you offer. Wellness is, your niche. So, hopefully that helps you get started having those conversations. I encourage you just to pick one and try and test it out, see how it goes, see what feedback you get, see what responses you get, and let me know how it goes. So feel free to email me and tell me how it turns out. I'd love to hear it, and I hope this helped. And I'll talk to you guys next Tuesday. Bye.